Hello and welcome to episode 93 of the Perth to Paisley podcast, a podcast where two jambos in their mid-20s give their thoughts about Heart and Midlothian Football Club each and every week. I'm Adam Kennedy, and joining me, as always, is Daniel McIver, who I'd like to hear how he's combating the sweltering Scottish heat. How are we, McIver?
Not combating it at all and absolutely dying, basically. Really struggling. As I record this currently, in the room I'm sat in, it's 29 degrees and just hating my life. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I just get on with it. What can we really say? It's not nice, but so be it. I actually don't mind the heat, if I'm honest.
I do. I hate it. Summer's my least favourite season. It's the worst.
Summer's your least favourite?
Yes, by far. Even though it has my birthday in it and everything. Hate it. When you were wee, it was good because you got the summer holidays.
Winter, nah.
No, I like winter.
Winter's shite.
No.
Snow was brilliant when you were a wee bit. Nah.
By winter, I don't mean January, February. That's the worst time of the year. That's
without
terrible.
question. That's exactly what I'm referring to.
November,
December. You've got Christmas and that.
Yeah. Autumn's the best. Autumn's the best by far.
I'm not sure I'm having that.
Yes,
I'll maybe take spring, but then the football season comes to an end. So
exactly, autumn, you're fully involved in the football. It starts getting dark when you go to games. There's Halloween. It's class.
See, you had me till Halloween there.
Halloween's the best.
Halloween's
way. You're mental.
No, I'm not having it. It's a load of nonsense.
Can you tell we've not got much to speak about?
It's just sheer commercialism. Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm fully on board with that. There's nothing else to speak about. I'll happily debate Halloween versus Christmas.
Folk are expecting Heart of Midlothian thoughts, and here we are about Halloween. Oh, crikey.
We're going to have no coherent thoughts in this heat. This is going to be the most LSD-based podcast we've ever had.
Oh, it's going to be an absolute sham. But then again, I mean, the listeners know by
as
now.
As opposed to the usual high quality that they usually get.
They're used to that on a consistent basis. But, I mean, you've alluded to it there, but that's not being in competitive action. There is no around the grounds feature, as was so often the case last year. But I thought that we would take a minute to go around other Scottish clubs who have discovered their fate with regards to continental competition. Now, reigning champions Celtic obviously go directly into the Champions League group stages, and Rangers hope to join them. The Gers will take on Belgian side Union Saint-Gilloise. Don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. We're going to go with that. Ties being played on the 2nd of August in Belgium and the following Tuesday at Ibrox on the 9th in the return leg. We've got Dundee United, who will be playing their first European match in a decade as they face Tuzla City of Bosnia and Herzegovina or Dutch side AZ Alkmaar in the third qualifying round of the European Conference League. Home leg at Tannadice is Thursday the 4th of August, the return in either Bosnia or the Netherlands being on the 11th. And those dates are also of interest to Motherwell, should the Steelmen get the better of Irish side Sligo Rovers in the second qualifying round. They'll take on Sparta Prague of the Czech Republic or Norway's Viking FK. And their first leg of the second round is actually this coming Thursday at Fir Park. But what do you make of the other three's fates being decided for them, McIver?
I think Rangers will be fine. I think Rangers should be pretty confident going into that game. I know the Belgian League obviously have some very good teams in them. However, you probably fancy Rangers against the best of them. So
that was the draw they wanted, really, because was it Monaco, Sturm Graz?
Yeah.
Was it Midtjylland?
I think Midtjylland was the other one, yeah. I think they'll be more than happy with that and should have enough. I think that's where the positivity kind of ends for Scottish football.
Without a doubt.
I think Dundee United don't have much of a chance against the Dutch guys.
Lost to Celtic last season, didn't they?
Yes, I think so.
Was that
maybe?
Was that Champ or Europa? I can't remember.
Yeah,
I think Celtic got the better of them before. Did they get knocked out of the Champions League by? I can't even remember now.
Nah, you can.
Was it Ferencváros?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Is
that right?
They definitely got beat off Ferencváros, so I think so.
Yeah, because they played them in the Europa League group again, did they not?
Yes, because that is right. What happened. I think Dundee United will really, really struggle. I think if they won that tie, it would be like the biggest result in Dundee United's recent history. Like, it would be incredible.
Without fail, yeah.
And then even less positivity for Motherwell, because, listen, I think they'll best Sligo Rovers. I know that Sligo are in their full season, so they'll be up to match fitness because they're playing week in, week out now. However, Motherwell should have enough to beat them. But
you'd hope so, even though it kind of reeks of Connah's Quay Nomads and Kelly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. But then you have to imagine that the team they'll be playing is Sparta Prague, who I don't think they could have got a harder draw, really.
There's two ways that you could look at it, because for the fans...
Well, the fans just seem buzzing.
Ireland and Prague, that's two top trips.
Yeah.
Who cares about the domestic scene that will follow? Like, they'll just be harping on about Ireland and Prague for the foreseeable. But tough.
Very tough. Very tough.
So what are you saying, that Rangers are the most likely?
Yeah.
Will Rangers be the only ones to make it?
I think Rangers will be the only ones to make it through.
So then we'll have the two big dogs. Well, even then, Rangers would go into the playoff, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would actually. Yeah, they would.
And I don't know with regards to potential opponents there, but
I'm not sure.
I don't know. So we're saying the top three of last year will all be playing group stage European football and nobody else.
Basically, yes. I think so. I can't see anything.
Excited for the season ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, I mean, our season still feels ages away. I know it's not, but it still does feel
next week.
A lifetime away. I know, but this is what we're kind of talking about at the top of the show. Like, summer without an international football competition is
the worst. It's the worst.
It is pish. I'm not having it. I mean, we both have summer birthdays, but yours fall in Hearts fixtures. I don't even have that.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't be disappointed or delighted.
I think there's a chance that we're playing a European tie on my birthday.
Crikey. Well, we have got a good record on your birthday, so
yeah, so we're fine.
Yeah, be all right. We'll
exactly.
Yeah.
Is that true? Are the games on the 4th and the 11th?
Is the draw the 1st or the 2nd?
2nd. Surely the games can't be the 4th and then the 11th. You find out 2 days before.
Even then, the 11th is pretty short notice, but
yeah,
you never know. That could be first like material.
Yeah, it's on a Thursday, so I wasn't sure if it was like I don't understand how it's going.
But then I want to say that Celtic's between the two, so it could be the 18th and the 25th. I think it is the 18th and the 25th.
Maybe you're right. Yeah,
I don't know. We'll find out. That's to come.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah. And anyway, our season's preparations continued with 2 friendlies against English sides. First of all, we went down to Merseyside as Hearts took on Tranmere Rovers. I don't really know what else to say other than this was something of a reunion for some Scottish football figures. Mickey Mellon's their gaffer. Kane Hemmings nodded them ahead, so that was great. I mean,
which I predicted immediately as soon as I saw that Ross Stewart was in goals.
Oh yeah, I was going to break down the match, but let's be honest, there's only a couple of talking points for both friendlies. That Tranmere friendly in particular, my goodness gracious me, how does he not save that?
I understand that it bounces literally in front of him, right? So I don't have as much issue with the goal itself. It's the fact that I don't think he ever looks like he was ever going to save it. So even if it goes straight at him without bouncing, I still don't think he's saving it. That's my problem. That I just have absolutely no confidence in Ross Stewart at all.
I thought we'd moved past the kind of jokers between the sticks of old. And it just doesn't seem that way.
The defending's terrible. Atkinson, so we have some unique insight because my dad and brother were there. So they saw the full 90 minutes.
They're both absolutely off their rockers going down to that. But
this is getting uploaded on Wednesday the 20th. They're currently travelling down to Preston as well.
Jesus.
They are committed.
Fair play.
Atkinson's at fault as well because he doesn't stop the cross at all. And Atkinson, it's kind of the theme that Atkinson going forward's really good, but still defensively, it's like still not quite there. Obviously, it's pre-season, so you shouldn't read into it that much. And it's a good thing.
his first 90 in a wee while, is it not?
And he's missed part of pre-season because he was with Australia as well.
That extended time off and what have you.
Absolutely. However, my dad's main point was he can't remember a game where the two halves were so different. The first half we were absolutely terrible by all accounts, and then we made 3 subs, and just the entire game changed, and it was actually a really good game, and they really enjoyed the second half. Barry Mackay in particular was just exceptional.
Shock horror.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, it was he and Liam Boyce that did grab the goals. Yeah, I don't know. I just think like the goal that we conceded, that's the first that we've conceded in all of pre-season, isn't it? And it's because CG's not between the sticks.
Yeah,
basically. That's the harsh reality here.
In fairness, Ross Stewart has kept 2 clean sheets prior to that in pre-season.
Great.
I'm trying to do anything because he's awful. He's so bad. I'm trying to give him something.
Does it not concern you that we don't seem the least bit arsed? Otherwise, we would address that situation.
We're not going to get a backup keeper, and I'm going to hold it against the management team this season because I don't think because a lot of people have been saying with the rumours of a certain player being announced, how would you rank the window? Like, and I've seen a lot of people kind of give it 7 or 8, which I think is pretty fair. I think I would give it that. And I know a lot of people are saying, like Robbie said, he still wants to make another 5 signings. And I still think we need another. Add like another midfielder, Elliot Anderson, please. Add like a right-sided centre half and stuff like that. However, I don't
That's
think
still a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is
at this stage.
Definitely. I don't think it can be classed as the perfect. Like last season's window was pretty much perfect. We got every single position covered, and 99% of them did at least well. Like there was only one real standout bad signing, that was Woodburn. Like that was it.
I was thinking about that. You like harping on about that window just there, thinking, did we not sign Ben Woodburn last summer?
Yeah, but that was the one exception.
That's fair enough.
Whereas this window, I won't think it's perfect unless we get a backup keeper, and I don't see us doing that at all, which is worrying. Because Gordon, I've reiterated this several times, could be playing as many as 30 games by November, and he's 40 in January.
It's mad, isn't it? That is mad. And I know that keepers should be able to last the duration, but
still insane.
Listen, knowing our track records, I'm not convinced.
No.
The centre forwards are the big one for me. Still, like, I
That's
know
fair.
that we're supposedly on the cusp of announcing one.
Yeah.
That's why I'm checking my phone every couple of minutes, just because I know that the club are going to Judas us.
Yeah, exactly.
And announce one like as we're recording. But he and somebody else would be sweet.
Because I've seen a lot of Hearts fans kind of lump him, who we'll get to, and Elliot Anderson together and be like, there we go, that's our forward sorted. Whereas Elliot Anderson's not a forward, he's a 10. I know that's a forward, but he's not a striker or a centre forward. Like he's a number 10. So I'd still want Anderson and a striker. I want like a big striker, like a Sims or a So or an Uche or a Zfuke or a Connor Salmon with ability. Like I'd like, because
a target man type.
Yeah, we have all our forwards are quite similar.
Nambili, perhaps.
Yes, get him back. European tour, come on. Also, Andy Carroll fits that mold.
Oh my God. Here we go again.
But yeah, the goals were actually quite good. They were all Barry Mackay just being great. He takes it, he kind of does a weird thing where he plays it off to Cochrane and then the ball kind of pinballs about at the edge of the box. And then Barry Mackay just goes, right, stuff this. I'm doing this myself, and just hits a shot for the edge of the box. It might
opens up the body, doesn't he? And unleashes one.
It might take a slight deflection. I'm not really sure, but beats the keeper. Again, kind of in a Ross Stewart situation, you'd be hoping, if you're a Tranmere fan, God save you if you are, that you'd be hoping for your keeper to be doing a wee bit better there. And then the next one is just a really nice goal. Barry Mackay again does very well, gets the kind of byline at the near side, chips a wee ball through to Boyce, who heads it into the bottom corner.
I reiterated the fact last week that this is, merely about building fitness, but it's quite nice to see us experimenting in that sense. I'd like to see more of that from Barry Mackay, because he was goal shy, no matter how you try and sort of dress it up. As much as he was fantastic since signing, his lack of hitting the net was a real frustration amongst it's bound to be a frustration for him amongst the playing squad, amongst the fans, amongst the management team. So hopefully he's got more of them in the locker for next year. And it's nice to see Liam Boyce obviously continuing to bag a couple in pre-season. We're hoping, again, that this whole 20 malarkey...
That we don't jinx him this year.
That would be nice. But in fairness, if he's still giving pens, you've got to tuck them away, Liam. I'm sorry, I don't mean to come for you so early on, but there's only so much that McIver and I can curse you.
We're the cheerleading crew, and it's like, come on, Liam, you need to give us something here.
But turn the game on its head as well. That's nice to see, given that obviously we hadn't gone behind. But if we hadn't, again, sick of saying
who cares?
But don't care.
Yeah.
And speaking of don't care, the perfect approach to then talk about the next friendly, in which Hearts do a Hearts and blow a 2-goal lead at home. Crawley Town were the visitors to Tynecastle. Don't know the next thing about Crawley Town. I know that Stephen
they brought 29 fans.
29?
Yep, 29.
Do you know what? Fair play to the 29. That'd be easy. It'd be easy to lay into them, but
fair play. They only have like a week's notice as well.
And if they, it might be a case of seeing Edinburgh. Some of them might have never been to Scotland before. And
that's the thing. How class would that have been? In like 25-degree weather, you come up to Edinburgh, you sat in Tynecastle watching a game. That'd be class.
A life does not get any better than that. It really does not. And my life doesn't get any better than it does watching Stephen Kingsley play football. He's a wonderful footballer.
A very talented man. Before we continue with this, it's been raised to my attention that we've been omitting something very important the last few weeks. Obviously, this was the run-out for the first time at Tynecastle in the away kit. And friend of the podcast, Sinead, was, as a lot of people know, the model of the away kit. So we just wanted to mention that. Yep, that got all the attention it deserved. But anyway, Stephen Kingsley scored an absolute raker and from a corner.
The absolute raker I could watch on repeat.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's so good.
He is he's Roberto Carlos. He's the second coming of Carlos.
I've seen so many people say, kind of our generation and a wee bit like the middle generation, like your Borthwicks, Joel Skeds, Craig Fowlers. I saw Borthwick say that Kingsley is slowly becoming his favourite player like ever for us. And I know that Joel's favourite Hearts player is Takis Fisas. That is his favourite player. And after the semi-final, he was saying that Kingsley's getting slowly close to him. Everybody adores him. And we got him for free. It's always a reminder that we got him for free.
How can you not?
He does everything. He does absolutely everything.
Honestly, I've ran out of superlatives. My favourite player changes from Benny Beningame to him. It just depends on if Benny's fit or not. If Benny's fit, then it probably is Benny. I've got to be honest. But
he's not been fit for half a year.
And Stephen Kingsley's just top. Free transfer. Unbelievable. How he's only got one Scotland cap, as we alluded to a fortnight ago, is beyond me.
It's mental.
An absolute disgrace.
And we don't want to just kind of give all the praise to Kingsley. George Grant has now got 3 assists from corners in pre-season.
Again, be very hypocritical of me to say that we're going to win the league or come out with some rash statement like that. But the fact that we're pulling this off is great. And look, pre-season has been full of positives for me on the whole. What I will say is, in this Crawley game, we've let a 2-goal lead slip. Get this out your system now.
That's what Kingsley said.
Exactly. This is the time to make mistakes. Yeah. Not when we are, overseas or battling it out with County on that first day of the season. Hibs in the first derby at Easter Road. Make the mistakes now. Hopefully we can right all the wrongs, even though there's hardly been any. And hopefully we can make a decent start to the season this year, given we all know what's to come. It's still not sunk in, by the way, the fact that we actually will be playing European football. Yeah. It's mad seeing all these other draws going on. And there's a part of me that just thinks, I really just want to know
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, we now need to pay attention to that as well. Like that involves us. Nielsen and Robbie Nielsen, not Lewis Nielsen, the gaffer and Kingsley both said that it can be taken as a positive because it reminds everybody that it's not going to be plain sailing. It's not going to be just, oh, we comfortably run out winners all the time. So yeah, the goals came in a 10-minute period where like they hit the bar and that should have been the wake-up call. They then got one back. That definitely should have been the wake-up call. And then they equalised. But from that point on, like that first 10 minutes, from the 45th to the 55th minute, that was kind of it for all Crawley did. Now, again, you could actually argue that's more annoying because only for 10 minutes did they play and they walked away with the equivalent of a point if it was a league game. But for me, as we keep reiterating, it means nothing. It was a good fitness run out. You could tell from kind of the 65th minute mark, it started to peter out because Crawley made like 12 subs. We made 7. And it was just like, right, everybody get out, get fitness. Hope Michael Smith's okay. Worryingly went down right at the very end, holding his calf.
And he's coming back as well.
Yeah, but he seems to be all right. We've not heard anything that he's required treatment or anything. I think it's just that, oh yeah, he's having to run all the time. He is still our out ball on the right side. The guy had a disc explode in his back last season, and we're still like, run 80 yards, Mick. Just keep going.
And he does. What a guy, time after time. Just let the 29 fans have their day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they got a lovely time. Fair play to them.
It was lovely for literally nobody else, but a couple of nice goals, and that's what it's all about. I hope they had a smashing time in Edinburgh. I hope they tell all their pals from Crawley and the surrounding areas to come up to Edinburgh, taking a match at Tynecastle. They will not be disappointed.
Exactly.
So... yeah, there's not really much else to say other than the kind of games that have just gone. Really looking forward to Saturday, actually. Gary Locke's testimonial.
Same.
Stoke, the visitors. Rudy back on the hallowed Tynecastle turf.
Pasquale Bruno.
Brilliant.
Did you see the video of him?
No.
Oh my God.
My dad shared it, but I've not watched it yet.
He's every stereotype of Pasquale Bruno inside 30 seconds. He looks like a cartel owner. He's in like the most lavish house ever, but he's still calling Tynecastle his house. And he's just kind of turning up and being like, he says, he's like, Gary, my friend, you might have won many things, but the biggest thing that you can see in your career is that you played with Pasquale Bruno. I'm so chuffed he's coming.
I love that. I used to think that sort of stuff was like an arrogance. You know, when you see it with like Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
Now I just think it's just an inspired confidence. I'm envious of that. I'd love to have that. I think that is hilarious.
You'd like to be Pasquale Bruno.
Oh, without a doubt. I think if I were to be any other nationality, I'd be an Italian. Definitely. They're up there. They're characters. Pasquale Bruno is the height of that. It'll be good. What?
I just didn't expect that to be the road we went down.
This is I need the football back. I really, really do. This is an absolute shambles. I've literally come into this podcast with next to no preparation.
What is there to prep?
I don't know. This is it. The quiz is about the height of my preparation, and even then that'll be over like that. So it's not much. I mean, Aaron McIneff's away. We'll be as well talking about that.
Oh yeah, let's speak about that because I'm annoyed about it.
Because I've just gone on the club website because I've got it up. And they released the article saying that Aaron McInneff will leave Hearts to join Australian club Perth Glory. All parties have agreed terms, and the midfielder will make the move to the A-League side, subject to visa approval and international clearance. 26-year-old Aaron joined the Jambos in February 2021, part of the championship-winning and European football clinching squads. He made 36 appearances in a maroon shirt, scoring 5 goals. Speaking to the official Hearts website about the move, manager Robbie Nielsen said Aaron indicated his desire to move on if he couldn't get more game time. We have a compact squad, but it's laden with quality and nobody is guaranteed playing time. So when this transfer came up, it made sense for everyone. Aaron has played an important part in our journey back to the top of Scottish football, and he goes to Australia with our best wishes. Sporting Director Joe Savage said, in financial terms, the transfer is a good deal for the club, and I have no doubt that Aaron will make an impact in the A-League. He's a great lad who's made some important contributions on the pitch over the past 18 months, so we thank him for all of his efforts at Hearts, and we wish him and his young family all of the best in Australia.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Basically, first of all, it's an amazing move for him, and as Joe said, his family. That'll be class. Going out to live in Australia for a few years.
We're talking about Edinburgh in the sunny weather.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
What,
he's knackered in that sense.
Yeah, but it's not bad, is it? I mean,
yeah.
That's the sort of consolation that he can now take. Yes, he'll be leaving Edinburgh, but he'll get this weather all year round,
all the time. And I think he will go and smash it. I think he will do really, really well in the A-League. I'm gutted by it, to be honest. I like how we dedicated an area of last week to speak about him, and then like the next day it was like, oh, Scars have revealed that he's going.
Yeah, thanks for that, Mark. Really appreciate that.
Appreciate the heads up. But yeah, I just think, listen, Savage says it there, where it's like he made some very important contributions. Without him, we don't make the cup final, because his sub against St Mirren was completely game-changing. Scored with his first touch, and that kicked us on.
Sorry, I thought that was the Twitter notification I've been looking for.
We're so on edge just now. I now think we need another signing in that area, personally. Elliot Anderson would be ideal in terms of a creative player going forward, but I just feel it leaves not light. It doesn't leave us light, but he was a great squad option to have. Now, I know that that's not his priority, and he's done what's best for him in his career, so I don't deride him a move at all.
No,
he's also, like, by all accounts, and what we've seen, been like the most professional person ever. Like, he's never been given a proper run in the team, but has never complained. He's never went to the media going, oh, it's ridiculous with that. There was I remember an interview with him, actually, kind of midway through last season, where he said, oh, some people will complain about not playing all the time, stuff like that, but I just keep my head down and keep doing well in training and hope I get an option. Like, that's exactly what you want from rotation style like players. And I would have preferred keeping a hold of him. I understand why. I think the language that Joe uses is quite interesting, because it kind of suggests that we got a fee for him.
That's the thing for me. I mean, I think any young aspiring footballer should take note to Aaron McEneff.
Yeah.
And it's easy to say to try and work yourself into the team. I've got no doubts that he's tried to do exactly that, and for whatever reason, it's just not been the case.
Yeah.
With regards to potential fee, I mean, I'm sorry to bore everybody with this, but I am a Dylan Levitt stan. I will happily die on that hill, and that could have gone towards that young man's transfer fee. But hey,
we don't know, though, it was a fee. It might just be that he's coming up for his contract at the end of this season, and it gets him off the wage bill.
Any door, yeah.
So it might not have been much. We might have just agreed to, like, you get him for nothing but a sell on or something like that, like a 30% sell on kind of thing.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
But again, you're just wanting Elliot Anderson to come in and replace him, ideally.
If that happens, I'm fully on board with the McEneff move. Just now, as it stands, I'm like, I totally understand it. I'm still disappointed and hope we sign a replacement.
From what I gather, it does seem as though that was the case. That, you know, he was a very well thought of member of the playing squad.
Yeah,
most of the players seem to really like the guy, and I do feel a bit sorry for him that it wasn't.
He didn't get the run he deserved.
No, I don't think he did. Even in these sort of games, like I can remember, was it Livy we beat 2-0 at Tynecastle when Mackay scored his first goal that World Day, and I think he was the only change that day for Ben Woodburn. It might have been after that St Mirren Cup game.
Yeah, I think so.
And you were sort of hoping for a performance then, and we didn't really get it.
Yeah.
And he's always been one to kind of come on and try and change the game.
He's a fantastic superstar.
If we're chasing the game, he's the ideal player to bring on.
Yeah.
But in terms of like when he actually started, I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh, but I don't think we ever saw that, albeit it was limited starts.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Also, Robbie's having a laugh with what he said earlier, where it's like, no one's guaranteed playtime. Some people got a lot more playtime than Aaron McEneff that shouldn't have got the game time they did. Like, that's a bit, okay.
You know
like,
who you are.
Yeah, exactly. Gary Mackay, Stephen, Josh Ginnelly, and Ben Woodburn. Like, all of them had worse seasons than Aaron McEneff, yet played like 3 times the amount of games as him.
I don't know. It's a weird one. A great move for him. And
I'm chuffed for him personally.
I wish him all the very best. But just sad that it didn't work out at Hearts.
Definitely.
Shall we talk about the signing that is on the cusp and everybody thinks it? I mean, I say this now. It's 27 minutes past 8.
On the 19th.
Hearts can't be announcing anything at 8:30, 9 o'clock. I think we're past it now.
Yeah.
But it does look as though Lawrence Shankland is coming back to Scotland. Having left Dundee United most recently to move to Belgian side Beerschot. They were relegated to the 2nd tier of Belgian football.
Yep.
And so it seems as though he's going to reunite with Robbie Nielsen, Lee McCulloch, Gordon Forrest, just like they were all together at Tannadice. And now it appears as though they're all going to be together at Tynecastle. McIver, I'm a Lawrence Shankland fan. I've wanted this move for a wee while. You haven't expressed that same desire.
Yeah.
Why not?
Right. So, as Adam just said, we sit here and it's not announced yet, but we've heard all the rumours. We've seen the photo of him in front of the tunnel, for God's sake. So we know he's signed, unless something happens and he breaks his leg on his way he's flat or something, we pull the deal, even though I don't think that's illegal.
That would be peak Hartman Lothian.
Yeah, exactly. But by all accounts, and I cannot wait until we release this and it turns out that everything about it is complete bollocks and I've got this all wrong. But by accounts, the deal is 3 years, 250k plus performance-based add-ons. Now, my biggest hang-up on the potential Lawrence Shankland signing was always the money. It wasn't about him as a player in as much as I viewed the alleged $500,000 transfer fee that Beerschot wanted as too much of a risk.
Which I get.
I'm not saying that in the sense that Shankland couldn't then prove it to be a good signing regardless of the fee. My fear is that we are making a lot of money from Europe and that we were going to be using a sizable chunk of it on a player who, regardless of the circumstances, which I think is fair, and you do need to take that into account, has had a bad last couple of seasons. However, on the flip side of that, I'm not just going to sit here and be really negative about a new signing because I don't think there is a lot to be negative about Shankland, the footballer in Scotland. Because people will obviously, yes, point to his bad Dundee United last season, point to his bad season and time at Beerschot in Belgium. But as I said, you do need to look at the context of it. For many of the games in Belgium, he's chucked out in the left wing. I hope that doesn't happen under Robbie. I don't think it will. He also kind of picked up a wee niggle that in between him coming back from fitness, Beerschot changed managers. And by all accounts, the new manager just didn't like him at all and didn't really want to play him, which will also affect someone's ability from a mental standpoint.
You've actually done your research for this. Keep going.
Oh, I'm
impressed.
I've been doing this for weeks though, because I was like, he's definitely going to come. So I need to.
I've just latched on another thread on Twitter and I've just taken those stats and running with it.
Then you go back to his last season at Dundee United, where again he didn't perform to the level that people expected the Ayr United Lawrence Shankland and the Championship Lawrence Shankland to do. However, again, it was under a Mickey Mellon side who all I remember about it was there was a bank of like 10, then 40 yards, then Lawrence Shankland. Now, Shankland, I don't think is the type of striker who can make chances for himself. Again, I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I'm not saying that he's a complete one-trick pony, but
he's a penalty box number 9.
Yes, exactly. He's a poacher. He's best when other people are getting the ball to him. And you couldn't really ask, at least on an individual basis, for a better individual to be creating chances for you than Barry Mackay.
and hopefully Alan Forrest, and hopefully Liam Boyce, and hopefully George Grant, and hopefully various others.
Well, this is the thing. Even just Barry Mackay on his own, you would go, well, Shankland will automatically get more chances. Whether or not he takes them is the risk. It's has he suddenly lost his goal scoring ability that he had for so long. But it's a much better position to be in, having obviously linking back up with Alan Forrest, who did so well with at Ayr.
Of course.
I think the team is more suited to Shankland than he's had in the last few seasons. Again, under Nielsen, who he was fantastic for in the Championship.
He carried United to that Championship title.
100%. 100%.
And if it was like 24 goals in 26 games before the season was curtailed, or some ridiculous record.
It's something like that. And if you ask Dundee United fans about it, that's kind of what you hear. They all love him, and they're
because they viewed it as a coup even when his deal with Ayr came to an end. You know, there was talk of, I think, was it Swansea, Sunderland, a couple of other sites down south.
Yeah. And the big thing for me is this alleged cost that Beershot wanted $500,000 because obviously they paid $1 million for him, which was a ridiculous move at the time, considering he was out of contract.
A weird one.
Yeah, definitely really weird. If it is true and we've paid $250,000 for him to around 300, 250 to 300, I think that's a way better deal. Considering the last person we spoke about, McInnes, we signed him for $200,000 back at the start of 2021. I think that's a much more manageable thing. And I know some people will say, why are you bothered about the finances? It doesn't matter. We should be focused. It's just excited to get Shankland. I get that. But I'm one of those boring football manager players who likes the inner workings of the club and also wants to build on this. I don't want another example of just, we've now got money, let's just waste it. And
no, we're wanting to be smart. I mean, we're in the best place that we've been for a number of years.
Yeah, for like almost a decade since Robbie was last here.
And what I will say is, unfairly on Lawrence Shankland, the kind of debates and comparisons arise with he and Kevin Nisbet.
Mm-hmm.
Hibs had no hesitation with paying Dunfermline $250,000 and gave the Pars a sell-on for Kevin Nisbet. And they were talking about a potential 3 million, 4 million exit later down the line. That obviously hasn't come to fruition. But if we were offered that money for Shankland, we could take it. Who knows? I just think, you know, they were both sort of sniffing around the Scotland squad. It is very, like, these comparisons are pretty fair on the whole.
I think it's the most exciting thing.
Is the better player.
I think it's the most exciting part of the Shankland move. Because obviously, I hope he does well for us. I have one guy in my work who's a Dundee United fan, so I was kind of messaging him today, and he's going to be biased, but he was like, I think in the team that you guys have, he'll score 15 easy. Like, there's no doubt he'll do that. Now, obviously, then you'll get other fans going, you'll be lucky to get 2 Aberdeen fans who'll be like, he'll score 15 own goals, kind of thing. But I think the Shankland-Nisbet, not rivalry, but comparison, is fascinating, and that makes me want Nisbet to get back to fitness quicker, because I want to see how they do against each other over the course of a season, because we need to see what Nisbet's going to be like when he comes back from this injury, if he has to adjust his style, if he has to adjust.
We want another Kevin Nisbet pre-injury, and we want Lawrence Shankland in his prime at either Ayr or Dundee United. That would be fantastic. And then we could be talking 3-4 million.
It's going to be interesting.
I don't want this as like a short-term fix, but if it has to be and he performs really well, then we won't have any fans talking about the transfer fee, about the wages that we'll pay him. Like, none of this will enter our head.
Yeah.
We want him to perform for Hearts, and we believe that there is a realistic chance that he could do really well for us. I beg anybody at Heart Midlothian watching this, do not give him the number 9 shirt. Let him have his pick of any high number.
He's definitely going to be number 9. He's definitely going to be number 9.
I swear to God, if he is, that is cursed. Then
who's the last few we've had? Woodburn, Washington.
Crikey, yeah. Woodburn, Washington. Who took it?
I'm trying to remember who Washington
Did anybody have it in the
it.
championship season? No. I don't think we did have a number 9, did we?
No, because Boyce was 10 and Whiting was 15.
Nandwillie should have taken it. Did he not take it initially?
Is he not number 23?
I thought he took 21, but was he given the number 9 shirt at first? I feel like he might have
try and find out. He was. I've just seen. Yeah, he was number 9. He was number 9. So he's the last number 9 we've had.
The last decent number 9 we had was Kyle Lafferty.
Yes.
Prior to that, it was probably Mark De Vries.
Was Osman So not number 9?
No. Was he not like 20 and then 10, I think?
Oh, maybe actually.
Yeah.
I can't see any photos with. Yeah, he was 10 when we came up. What was in the championship?
20.
Was it?
Pretty sure.
Yes, he was. Look at you. I'm wasting quiz questions.
Love my trivial nonsense like that.
Exactly.
So yeah, as you can tell, I'm big on the squad numbers. So don't give him number 9s. That shirt is cursed. It will be cursed.
What about 45?
All of eternity. 45 is perfect.
Right.
Or 36 or any other.
No, 45 because it makes 9.
Yeah, well, that's why I had 36 in my head as well.
Oh, yeah,
72. Screw it. 81.
72 would be amazing. I want 72. That would be class. Where I play with 72.
Anything but number 9, please. I beg.
We'll see.
But, I mean, in saying this, the B team have announced their it might not be number 9, but they've announced the signing of Jayden Ferguson. You saw him firsthand. Your thoughts before we get onto the quiz, because we'll just waste some other additional minutes. We're trying to build towards an hour. It's tricky, folks. It's the summer. Leave us alone.
I'm actually quite interested to see how Jayden does, because, I saw him I was there for the full 90 minutes of Whitehill Welfare. He got 75. And then he got the last 30 minutes against Spartans. The first half of Whitehill, I wouldn't say he struggled, but he definitely wasn't lighting the world on fire. He was all right. He was getting any chances. Then the second half started and Mackenzie Kirk came on, so that we went 2 up top. And it really benefited him because Mackenzie Kirk was doing all the running and Jayden was staying in the box, and he's kind of like a penalty box striker. He didn't score, but he was making loads of opportunities because defenders would naturally go to him, and it allowed Pollock to score his goal because 2 defenders rushed Jayden and he just let it go by him, and it landed at Pollock's feet, who scored. So I think he's going to do well. He had one chance against Spartans because by the end of that Spartans game, it was a terrible game. Nothing happened. But Jayden had one of the best chances and the keeper actually made quite a good save. So I think it's quite a shrewd signing, to be honest.
The duration puzzles me a wee bit.
Same.
It's just that 1-year deal. Because Heart Midlothian is thrilled to announce the signing of Jayden Ferguson on a 1-year deal. The 19-year-old striker joins Hearts B-side after impressing in a trial period at Rickerton under the watch of Stephen Naismith. Promising attacker previously had a lengthy spell in the academy at Celtic before an injury issue forced him to drop down the leagues to Dundee junior side Lochee United. His quality shone through, and he now returns to the professional ranks as he readies himself for Hearts' maiden Lowland League campaign. In terms of Nazy's thoughts, Jayden's got real instincts as a forward. He has a sharpness in the box along with being a really good finisher. He's very powerful and got a lot of qualities suited to leading the line. That's why he's in this contract. It didn't play out at Celtic the way Jayden hoped, but I think he's learned a lot. He's shown a great attitude along with a willingness to get better and improve. And Jayden Ferguson himself said, "I'm over the moon to get this done. I was out of the game for a long time and it's great to be back in full-time football. Nazy's been excellent with me. I know I'm going to learn a lot with him. The lads have all been top-notch with me."
I didn't even know that about him dropping down. Fair play to him for coming back up as well. That shows a lot of determination.
Definitely. Because there's plenty that would have crumbled and
100%.
Wasted away, but got out to play. And hopefully he proves a shrewd addition to the B team, definitely.
Yeah.
Right, we're moving on.
Here we go. Then. Here we go. The best part of the show.
This is the best part of the show, fully. Another Who Am I? So you could be the first to get a Who Am I, given that we've both failed in that respect so far.
I'm not getting it. I'm telling you now. I don't care who it is. I'm not getting it.
Got a true or false. Still waiting on this Shankland announcement, but I've just accepted it's not happening tonight.
It's not happening. It's going to... Folks, listen, you're listening to this Wednesday, obviously the 20th. You know that it got announced at 9 o'clock at night when we just finished recording. You just know it did, didn't it?
Or 9 a.m. first thing on Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Screw you, Hearts, honestly. I say this as though I'll not be, going to work all chipper.
Buzzing.
But yeah, in terms of obviously Hearts wanting a new signing, I thought we'd make this a new Scottish signing special, minus the Who Am I, obviously, because we've said that's a Hearts player within our lifetimes. But yeah, do you know what? I think this is all right. I think you.
I know no signings outside of us.
Well, we start with a question that is a Hearts signing.
Right.
So your first question, McIver, is Alex Cochrane recently put pen to paper on a permanent contract at Heart of Midlothian, but against which 3 clubs did the left back score for the Jambos whilst on loan from Brighton?
Motherwell.
Incorrect.
Livingston then.
Livingston's one.
Dundee United.
It's another.
Auchinleck Talbot.
Is the third. But you jumped in with Motherwell.
I know I did! Because I remember we beat Livingston and Motherwell 2-0 like at Tynecastle around the same time of the season, and I knew he scored in one of them because I can remember the goal. Smith crosses it in.
Was it 3 to Livy?
Oh yeah, it was 3. Sorry, it was 3 by half time. Yeah. The ball gets crossed out to Cochrane. He lets it bounce once and just drills it across the face of the keeper, and then he runs away and does that celebration.
I think that was his first senior goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
What a guy.
I'm giving myself a point there. I just give an extra team. I even got Talbot. That's it. I'm giving that's one.
That
for
was
one.
impressive, but you jumped the gun a wee bit, no?
No, it doesn't matter. I got the teams.
Well,
I gave you a bonus point for tattoos last week. I'm getting the point for that.
But you mucked up with the question.
That doesn't matter.
I see we leave this to the listeners. That's a dubious one.
Right,
Should we give you a half point?
No.
Give you a half point.
1 or nothing. I'm going 1.
I'm not having that.
This is shocking. Well,
your multiple choices, and I spoke about this last week. New Aberdeen captain Anthony Stewart joined the Dons after his deal with which English club came to an end? Is it A, AFC Wimbledon, B, Wycombe Wanderers, or C, Rotherham United?
I don't think it's Wimbledon. I don't know if it's Rotherham or Wycombe, though. Am I being stupid and just going, Rotherham also playing red? So it's my natural reaction was Wycombe, so I'm going to go Wycombe.
You'd be correct in doing so. Well
2
done.
for 2.
That's a certain one.
Thanks. Cheers.
And you're true or false, you've got a 50-50% chance here.
Cool.
Former Benfica, Bayern Munich, and Golden Boy winner, current Lille midfielder Renato Sanchez is Hibs' new winger, Jair Tavares' cousin.
They've got similar hair. Does that go across the genetic? They were both at Benfica then. Obviously, we know that. They are both Portuguese. I'm going with true.
You'd be correct. He is the.
Is he actually?
They're cousins. Wow. So there you go. There's a bit of pointless trivia for you. You're all welcome.
So far, I'm 100%. This is the best of any quiz.
Well, are you?
I am.
I don't know. Well, we've got another 3-club question here. So,
God.
I will take your first answer for this only.
Right.
Which 3 clubs has new Dundee United signing Stephen Fletcher played for in the Premier League?
Oh, right. Hibs.
No, sorry, English Premier League, I should specify.
Oh, I thought you meant... I was like, I should get this.
Sorry.
In the Premier League, the current Premier League, or he played with them in the Premier League?
He played with them in the Premier League.
Now, this is the problem where everybody learns. Pre-2015, I know nothing about the English game, barring Newcastle. That's it. Was he at Wigan?
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't at Wigan. I don't know.
That does seem a Stephen Fletcher-esque move.
Yeah.
No, he was not.
Sunderland.
Sunderland's one.
Yep, Sunderland's one.
You're not going to get the points, so you may as well just guess another.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to get the points now. I know. Right, okay, I might as well guess. Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool. He played at Blackpool when they were in the Prem a decade and a half ago.
So in order, he left Hibs to join Burnley.
Didn't know
then he
that.
signed for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Didn't know that.
And then he played for Sunderland. Also played for Marseille on loan from Sunderland, Sheffield Wednesday and Stoke before completing his switch to Tannadice, obviously the final English two.
I literally knew all of them after Sunderland and didn't know any of them in between Hibs and Sunderland, which is what the question involved. If you'd been like, what French team did he go on? I'd be like, Marseille immediately. I knew that.
That was a given. I thought that would make that tricky.
Right.
Well, that's good. Now you can no longer get full marks, regardless of whether you take the first question or not. So I do feel a lot better now. And finally, we end with your Who Am I for this week.
Oh, God. Right.
Here we go. This is the killer question. So, prior to joining the Jambos, I was linked with a potential move to Newcastle United, Rangers, or Crystal Palace in the press after previously being on trial with Everton. I was eligible to represent 3 nations in my international career, but I only won 3 under-21 caps, representing the national team of choice at the 2007 under-21 Euros. I speak 6 languages, but I've only won individual honours in a playing career which began in Switzerland before playing in Italy, Germany, having been loaned out by Hearts, and America, as well as Gorgie. Who am I?
Jesus Christ, that is solid. Right.
Yep, they don't get any easier, mate.
He was in the under-21s in 2007.
Yes.
Right. So
I'm going to get said players' Wikipedia up because I know that you'll probably bombard me with questions.
Yeah.
And this has been a common theme.
I'm going to assume then he came to us after that.
Do you want the years from when he was at Hearts?
Yeah, sure, because it won't help, but it'll help audiences.
He signed for Hearts initially on loan from 2006 to 2008 and then made it permanent in 2008 and stayed with us till 2010.
Jesus, so he was here for a while then. 4 years. He was eligible for 3 nations.
Yes.
But he didn't play full time for any of them, just at under-21s for one of them. But at the under-21s Euros.
Correct.
So he was clearly all right. Like he did well there.
Decent. It was decent.
And that helps me in the sense of he's European. I now have a continent to narrow it down
Correct.
to.
Do you want the nations? Shall I make it a wee bit easier for you?
Is it Switzerland?
So he was eligible to represent Cape Verde, Portugal, and Switzerland.
I only have one name in my head and I know it's wrong.
Who's the name?
This isn't my guess, but the name that's in my head is Ibrahim Tal. But it's not him, because obviously it's not him. He joined us earlier than that. I think he left like after 2006. I can't remind when he left.
Probably still lingering somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I mean. That's the only name that's in my head. I didn't even think where was he freaking? He wasn't Portuguese or anything. He was. I can't remember.
I'll search Ibrahim Tal. I want to say he was like Senegalese or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was African.
Right. Ibrahim Tal is a Senegalese international
footballer. Look at you knowing that.
Good bit of knowledge.
Right. Come on, Daniel. You can do this.
Do you want the clues again?
Yeah.
Right. Prior to joining the Jambos, I was linked with a potential move to Newcastle United, Rangers, or Crystal Palace in the press after previously being on trial with Everton. I was eligible to represent 3 nations in my international career, of course, those being Cape Verde, Portugal, and Switzerland, but I only won 3 under-21 caps, representing my national team of choice at the 2007 under-21 Euros. I speak 6 languages, but I've only won individual honours in a playing career which began in Switzerland before playing in Italy, Germany, having been loaned out by Hearts, and America, as well as Gorgie.
Right. So that means he either represented Switzerland or Portugal. I can't think of any Swiss players at that time, so I'm honing in on Portugal. I almost know this is wrong because I think we signed him in 2005, not 2006. Wait, we signed him in 2006, like that, the 6-7 season.
Just check that for you. Hold on a second.
Not the January window of 05-06.
In January 2006, however, it was Heart of Midlothian
that changes everything.
Acquired him.
do I have any memories of this man playing in the start of the season? I think we signed him in 2005. But I'm going, oh no, and he wasn't here till 2010. Jesus Christ, I keep forgetting that part. I was going to say, again, this isn't my answer. I was going to say Bruno Aguilar. He wasn't here till 2010. A Portuguese man. He's going to be Swiss after all this. But, but I can't even think of anybody Portuguese at this period. I can't think of anybody Swiss either. Right, I'm giving myself a minute because this is dragging on.
This is good. This is what we want. I mean, I like hearing all your working. He
never went to Newcastle or anything. He was just linked with a move. Right. I'm going to eliminate that fact because that
it didn't go to any of the sides that I mentioned. Okay. So neither Newcastle nor Rangers nor Palace.
And he went to America after us.
After Hearts, yeah.
I was about to say somebody that is a decade too early.
Who are you going to say?
And is an American man himself.
You were going to say Perry Kitchen.
I was going to say Perry Kitchen. Then I remember the guy's European. I genuinely have no idea. The years have really thrown me. The years have been the thing that has killed me because I can't.
Not the 6 languages.
No, because that's nothing. Like so many of our players could speak 20 or 1. Like that doesn't affect me remembering them. Because I'm just thinking of a bunch of Austrians, not even Swiss people. Jose Goncalves. That's my guess.
Is that your guess?
Yeah, that's my guess.
He's only gone and done it.
No way!
Yeah.
I'm actually...
How the hell did you get that?
Because he's the one Portuguese man who I can remember that roughly played in that time. Yes! Come on!
As it was.
I am buzzing with that. Legitimately buzzing.
What out the questions? What's irked you? What couldn't you get to with Big Jose?
I couldn't. My logic was because you said Cape Verde.
Yes.
I think he was born there.
We'll just check on his wiki. He was born in Lisbon.
Oh, he was born in
Portugal. Don't know how he qualifies for Cape Verde or qualified for Cape Verde.
He'll have a family member in some capacity.
Yeah.
The years really stumbled me because I could only think of 2, and it was Aguilar and Goncalves. And I was like, well, it's obviously not Bruno Aguilar. But then I started going, well, Goncalves was with us in that 06 squad, but I couldn't remember if he signed at the start of the season. So I then kind of just
Big Jose, man. I don't know why he came to my head last week. I just thought, screw it.
I'd eliminated him 5 minutes ago because I went, oh, he signed for us in 05.
But you've done what neither of us have done previously, and you took that stab in the dark to try and gain that reward.
Basically, yeah. And I was like, I want to give him it because I still don't understand why you didn't even say anybody last week.
I feel sick.
So I was like, I want to at least give a name.
And just Velička and Ruben Palazuelos on our shoulders, aren't they?
And that was the thing. Velička was in my head, but I didn't end up saying him, and I was annoyed. So I was like, right.
Actually chucked Ruben Palazuelos out willy-nilly and just didn't bother.
That was the thing. I was like, he's the only name I have, and I might as well go for it. And it was bloody right. So far, it's 1-0 me.
I don't remember us loaning him out to FC Nuremberg.
Is that what I was just about to ask that? Where did we loan him to? I have no memory of that.
And then I talked about his individual honours. So he won both while he was with the New England Revolution in the States.
Wow.
So he won MLS Defender of the Year / MLS Best 11 in 2013 and the Midnight Riders Man of the Year 2013.
What a title to win.
The Midnight Riders being an independent supporters group for the New England Revolution. There you go.
That sounds like something at Dirty Dancing.
The Midnight Riders. That could be that's title material. That
definitely the Midnight Riders. That's the title. Now, listeners, you know why that had such a weird title for all this episode, and it separates the wheats for the chaff because there'll be some people that didn't listen to the full episode and be like, "Why is that title?"
That's
so
exactly. We're leaving them dragging on. Nice.
Well, I am buzzing. 1-0 to me in the Who Am I?
Well done, mate. That was impressive.
We're going to keep track of this the whole season.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Say that. You say this now. You've taken the lead. I'm gonna have to do something next
when
week.
it's 10-1 to you, I'm like, I don't think we should really focus on these anymore.
Whose idea was this?
Yeah. Well, perfect. Well, the quizzes have went down very well in terms of feedback, and also we love doing them. They're so fun. So, a massive thank you to everybody. Let us know if you got Goncalves quicker than me, or if you got them at all. Be very interested. That was fun last week to see people, like, if they got Palazuelos before you or at the same time. So please keep up with that. But yes, we have been Perth to Paisley. You can get us on all the socials at Perth to Paisley. We're also on the email perthtopaisley@gmail.com. If you have enjoyed this and you're watching on YouTube, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Really helps. Also, if you're just listening to this, please leave a review on your podcast platform of choice. That massively helps us as well. Adam, where can they get you on all the socials?
They can get me on all the socials at Adam T. Kendo. So you can follow me there when I'm absolutely buzzing that Shanklin's been confirmed. And what about yourself, mate?
I'm at DMcIver22. We'll be back next week for quite an important episode because it will be the predictions episode on how we think
that
the
with
season.
Talk Scottish Football. I've got my table. I've put it out there. Oh God.
I'm not going to listen to that. So therefore, I don't know what Adam's going to say, and I won't let it infer my table. But yeah, so that'll be big. Hopefully next week we'll be back to confirm Shankland and any other new signings, cover friendlies, and Guy Locke's testimonial. But until then, we're back next time. See you later. Bye-bye.
Mother JTs!